Well, I think most importantly, how Edwin Booth has affected me as an actor is just going towards an acting style that's more naturalistic. Before being in this play, I was involved with a lot of comedies and other types of plays that I always played the character. I was always that character role, the older man, the supporting, funny, sidekick, second fiddle kind of role, and those roles are more over the top, crazy, off the wall kind of, and I really am enjoying this role, as a matter of fact, because for once I'm kind of grounded, and yes, I do have my moments of vulnerability, but I just think that Edwin Booth is helping me be more of a natural actor and being very conversational and whatnot, and I don't know, just his viewpoints in life specifically with love and how to observe a script is just fantastic, and after all the research I've done, I've just absolutely loved it, and I think he's a good role model for not only myself but anybody who wants to pursue theater, whether it be in acting and playwriting and directing. He's just a good guy to look up to.
The Edwin Booth Company presents an original play. No one has ever done it before, so we're kind of like the first ship out there trying to accomplish it. It's a great learning process. None of us have ever really worked with a working script, and there's a lot of research that is involved and a lot of different types of rehearsal processes. A lot of long rehearsals, but I think we're learning a lot. I'm definitely learning a lot, especially about theater history that is involved in the show. So I guess it's been a very educational experience, and I'm really excited for the show to actually go up so that we can see it all put together.
I feel like I know a lot more about the history of theater and how we got to this more natural style that's more known, and I really think that this role will affect every role I do from now on, just watching how everything came together. I think it's really important.
My role in the show has affected me on many levels. First of all, just being in the show has been a very educational experience so far. I mean, I went from thinking that Booth was only associated with the man who assassinated Abraham Lincoln, but there's just so much more to the name. And my character especially is kind of an insane one, and so it's definitely a different character from anything I've ever played, where nothing is rational. None of her choices and actions are rational. So it's really caused me to kind of think outside the box and go to places I've never been before. And also just working with this group of people. I've never met a group of people working on this show who are so dedicated to making this the best it can be. I mean, we're shooting for great here. It's just all these people are real, and so being able to portray these people is just a great experience.
I think audiences will react in a way that is unexpected. I don't think a lot of audience members or anybody who is not familiar with theater realizes his influence specifically during this time, during the late 1800s, and how his influences in naturalism just captured everybody. We come from this acting style, which is more presentational, over the top, and I think when we in this play make a distinction as to this is the old type of acting style, and now we are looking at the new type of acting style that Edwin Booth is introducing for the world, I think audiences will realize how significant that is and how important that is to not only theater, but to how theater influences us all in every respect of it.
I think the audiences will find it interesting because it is a new piece, and there are so many different characters and different types of characters, and it's really not just about Edwin, the main character, and the opposite Mary Devlin. But it's about all the people behind them and all the different, you got the funny guy, and then you got the right-hand man, and the right-hand man's right-hand man, and it's a very historically interesting play, a lot of theater history involved in it, but not presented in a boring way. It's very interesting how it unfolds, I guess you would say, and certain historical characters that make appearances that you wouldn't necessarily expect. And it's interesting to see a different outlook on things that normal people wouldn't know about with regards to acting in the theater of the time.
It's a really interesting story. I think people will have a lot more respect for the art and for Edwin Booth in general. I mean, it's a really great play, and I think people will leave it thinking about different ways of looking at theater and at the art and the craft that we do.
I think that audiences who come to see the Edwin Booth Company Presents will be extremely entertained, but also they'll have a new appreciation for the theater world. It is an extremely historical piece with a lot of passion put behind it from all the characters in their own way, and so I think seeing this will really open their eyes to a lot of events and people who I'm sure many aren't very aware of or never really heard of, and so it'll be a truly enlightening experience.